My name is Katie Kohler, and I'm the Program and Outreach Associate with the National Ombudsman Resource Center, also known as NORC. Also on the line is Amity Overall-Lace, the Director of the Ombudsman Resource Center. Today, I will be walking you through the NORC website and our new online training center. I will be showing you how resources and information is organized on the website and where to go if you need help. Today, we are using a new webinar platform called Zoom, and at the bottom of your screen, you will see a Q&A button. If you click this button to type in your questions, Amity will facilitate the Q&A section at the end of the webinar. The PowerPoint slides and the recording of this webinar will be posted on our website and emailed to everyone in the next couple of days. So I would like to get started today by asking a few poll questions. So Amity, if you would like to launch the first poll, it asks, how often do you visit the NORC website? Daily, weekly, monthly, annually, or never? I'll just give everyone a couple seconds to answer. Okay. It looks like 46% said monthly. Thanks, Amity. If you could launch the next poll, the question asks, how comfortable are you with navigating the NORC website? Very comfortable, somewhat comfortable, or not comfortable at all? Okay, so 66% said somewhat comfortable. And then the last question, if you would be able to launch it, asks, how often do you refer to a NORC resource to assist your work, such as a webinar, the Ombudsman Outlook, reference guides, or the NORC Ombudsman training curriculum? So again, daily, weekly, monthly, annually, or never. Okay, great. It looks like about 50% said monthly. So we're going to ask another poll at the end of the webinar to see if your responses have changed at all. Thanks, Amity. So I would like to get started by talking about the difference between the NORC website and the Consumer Voice website. So you can tell the difference by the color scheme, first of all. So the NORC color scheme is green, and you can navigate to the Consumer Voice website by clicking the button in the top left corner. And you'll notice that the Consumer Voice website has a blue color scheme. They also have two different URLs. So to get back to the NORC website, you would click the button in the top left corner. And the Consumer Voice website is for family members, consumers, and advocates. And the NORC website is specifically for Ombudsman programs. The Consumer Voice website does advocacy regarding long-term care issues and public policy, where the NORC website provides information, resources, and technical assistance for Ombudsman programs. But Ombudsman programs can also use the Consumer Voice website for education, consumer education, and advocacy, and adapt them for your own use. So before we begin going into the pages, I wanted to talk about some of the improvements that we've made to the NORC website over the past year. So we've worked hard to simplify the website. We are minimizing the amount of content by archiving older materials and reorganizing the newer materials. Our goal was to make it easy to find resources and information on every topic, and to also make it clear which resources are from NORC and which are from Ombudsman programs. So for example, we did this on the training page. So if you go to support and then training, you can see that there's two different pages, one for training materials created by NORC and another for training materials created by Ombudsman programs. So we do this throughout the website, just trying to make it really clear which materials come from NORC. We also reduced the number of subpages. So for example, the program management page used to have over 15 subpages, and we reduced it down to 7. We also archived resources that are out of date, so you still have access to them. So for example, policies and procedures has an archive section at the bottom. So older policies and procedures are still on this page and you can still access them, but the more recent ones are at the top and are not hidden. We also made sure that every page on the website is in the navigation. So you used to have to click several pages to get to a page that you were looking for, but now all pages are either in this top navigation or on the side. And on the side, there are sub-pages for each section. So we are in the support tab right now. Under support, these drop-down menus are the same as the side and as the bulleted list. And then if you click on the side, you will see the sub-pages. We also added an information for consumers section. So if you go to an issue page, and we'll go into these issue pages a little bit deeper later on, but if you click on one, you'll notice that there's an information for consumers section where you will find consumer-specific resources. And when in doubt, if you aren't able to find a resource, you can visit the sitemap. You can find the sitemap in the footer of each page. And it lists and links to every page within the website. So you can do Control F and then look for the page that you're looking for and then visit it. Okay, so I would like to go back to the home page now, and you can do that by clicking the logo in the top left corner. I'm going to scroll down a little. So I'm going to walk through the website and show you where some of the most frequently visited pages are located. So on the home page, you will find the most recent information. All news articles where Ombudsman programs are either featured or if they're quoted in them are located under News and Press. And all new resources created by NORC are under Resource Center Updates. And then below those boxes, you will find a button for Key NORC Resources. These resources are organized by topic and have direct links to resources created by NORC. And then to access additional information about the topic areas, you can click the button next to the title for the individual issue pages or specific program management pages where there's more information on abuse or federal nursing home regulations, but these are direct links to key resources. And then if you go back to the home page, the button next to Key NORC Resources is a button to join our email list. So if you click this button and fill out the form, you will be signed up to receive the quarterly Ombudsman Outlook, the monthly NORC notes, training opportunities, and additional information from NORC. Okay, so back on the home page, we're going to scroll up toward the middle. And if you click the button that says Visit Our Map, we have a map of the country that links to a page for each long-term care Ombudsman program contact information. So for example, if we click on Washington, we have the Washington State Ombudsman Program information at the top, and then all program representatives at the bottom. So if you notice an error or if your information needs to be updated, you can email NORC and we will update it. Our contact information is available on our website under About, and then Contact Us. Okay, so now I'm going to go across these tabs at the top and highlight some pages that I think will be most important to you. So first is the new Ombudsman page. So if a staff member or volunteer is a new Ombudsman, this is a good page to refer them to and to give them a history of the program and a better understanding of the network. So next I'm going to jump across to the issue pages. The issue pages are organized alphabetically and all resources related to that issue are located on that page. So for example, all resources related to abuse are on the abuse issue page. And this page is organized by topic and by who created the resource. So for example, if you click on financial exploitation, you'll find resources produced by NORC on financial exploitation. And then if you scroll down, resources produced by Consumer Voice on this topic, and then additional resources. and it goes down for multiple types of abuse. I'm going to jump to the top. And I wanted to highlight one other thing on this page. In an effort to minimize the length of the pages, we've removed all Ombudsman program created resources and moved them to one page. So you can click on Ombudsman program examples, and you'll be linked to Ombudsman program examples on abuse. So there's examples from Connecticut, Michigan, Oklahoma, all on abuse, and they're all located on the same page. So if you scroll down, you'll find resources on a different issue page topic. So antipsychotic drugs resources from different states. And you can also get to that page, the Ombudsman program example page, by clicking support and then Ombudsman program examples, and it will take you to the same page. Okay, next I wanted to go through the library tab. The library has several topics, so we're going to make our way down this list. And the most important thing I wanted to highlight in the library is the Federal Laws and Regulations tab. So this page houses subpages to information on the Older Americans Act, the Federal Nursing Home Regulations, the HCBS Final Regulations, and the Long-Term Care Ombudsman Final Rule. Also within the library, there are government reports, and these are organized by state and federal, Long-Term Care Ombudsman Program Research, the Ombudsman Outlook. This is where our quarterly e-newsletter is archived. We send this newsletter, which is designed to provide resources, tips, and news about Ombudsman program and practice. So you can read archived issues here. Our last one went out in March, and the next one will go out in June. And if you would like to sign up for the Ombudsman Outlook, you can click the Join Our Email List on the homepage at the bottom. Okay, so then also in the library are Resource Center updates. And these are the same updates that are on the homepage in the block toward the right at the bottom. And then resources and reference documents. And these are organized by topic. Okay, and then next I wanted to go to the Events tab. This is where you will find information on all upcoming events and webinars. So you'll find registration links. If you missed an email, you can find it here. Information on World Elder Abuse Awareness Day, the Older Americans Month, it's all located here. Next, I wanted to go through support. So the first item in the support list are NORC conference calls and webinars. So this is where we archive all conference calls and webinars. So you can search this landing page for a webinar and then click on the year. And you will find the recording of the webinar and then all the materials that went along with that webinar. Okay, I'm going to scroll to the top. And then next under support are the NORC notes. So this is a monthly email that we send out, and it serves as a reminder of resources that are on our website and tips for how your program can use them. So it goes out on the first of every month. So our last one was on volunteer management. You can read archived issues here. And if you would like to sign up, again, you would click the link on the home page to sign up for this email. Next is the National Ombudsman Reporting System landing page. So all information related to NORS is located here. We have NORS data, NORS FAQs, training, and the revised NORS data collection is here. This is where all the materials and webinar recordings related to NORS are located. Next under support is program management. There are subpages within program management on working with other agencies, ethics, program funding, program structure and management, policies and procedures, program effectiveness and quality assurance, and program management NORC resources. And under program management are pages on program promotion. So this is where we have examples from other states on how they promoted their program. So you can click on social media and there are links to their Facebook pages and Twitter pages so you can see how they're promoting their program. We have videos, annual reports, brochures, posters, newsletters, media outreach from other programs. And I wanted to highlight one video that was created by the Texas Ombudsman program, and you can use this in your state as well to promote the program. Texas has a version with their contact information, but they also made a version where they directed people to our website so they can visit the map and then find an ombudsman program around the country. So this video talks about what the ombudsman program is and what an ombudsman does. It's only a couple minutes, and it's also located on our homepage. So I would suggest sharing that with family members, or you can use it in training. It's really excellent. And then I wanted to highlight one other program promotion item. On the landing page, we have an infographic. Sorry if I'm scrolling too fast. But this infographic uses Norris data to promote the program. And you can use there's a printable version of this infographic on the website. It's 2 pages, so you can print it out and share it. Okay, and then scrolling back to the top, as I said before, Ombudsman program examples is located under support as well. So this is the same page that is linked on every issue page. You can also get to it through support. And then under support is systems advocacy resources. There's resources on legislative advocacy and Ombudsman program examples of systems advocacy. And then next is technical assistance FAQs. So this is where we put questions that we receive often. So when you click on the question, the answer expands. And there are links to more information on each question. And you can hide the text to shrink it back up. And the questions are organized by topic. And we add to this page regularly, so I would keep checking back to see if anything new has been added. Okay, and then under support, next is training. So these training pages have recently been revised. And as I mentioned earlier, we separated training materials created by NORC and then training materials created by Ombudsman program. And on each page, they're both organized by topic. And I wanted to highlight a package of training materials that NORC has created. So we made this Prezi, which has a voiceover about abuse, but you can also use this in your own training because the Prezi is available as a clickable presentation. So you can use it in a training, and then it also comes with a script, PowerPoint, and fact sheet that you can use. So we made this package for abuse, neglect, and exploitation, as well as transfer discharge. The same materials, a video with a voiceover, as well as a clickable Prezi without a voiceover, a script, a PowerPoint, and a fact sheet. Okay, I'm going to go back to the top. We also have documents related to Ombudsman program training. So information about adult learning techniques will be added to this page in the near future. And then going down to the NORC curriculum. So these modules are a good starting point for new ombudsmen to learn about the program and test their knowledge. The NORC curriculum content will be updated in the next few years. The content is based in Google. So you read the materials, and then there's a review quiz at the end. And each state ombudsman has a link to view who took the quiz, and they can review their responses. Okay, and then finally, I wanted to talk about volunteer management. These pages have information for programs that want to start or refresh their volunteer programs. So at the top of each page, there is a compendium chapter that aligns with the page. So this is the Getting Started page, and it has the compendium chapter on recruitment. So there's a volunteer intake toolkit at the top, the compendium chapter, and then at the bottom, there's examples of how other programs have done recruitment. There's videos, posters, things like that. So volunteer program management, there's resources produced by NORC, and then volunteer ombudsman program management forms. Volunteer training, so again, the compendium chapters at the top, and then examples from other states and their volunteer training. Volunteer recognition, the compendium chapters at the top, and then examples of recognition from other states. All volunteer management conference calls and webinars are located on the next page. And it includes the recording and then all slides and handouts that went along with the webinar. And then finally, under volunteer management is the volunteer opportunities page. So if your program has volunteer opportunities that they would like to advertise, we can post it on our website here. You click on the state and the opportunity expands. This one is organized by county. I also wanted to highlight at the top, there are 3 buttons that are organized by specialized information for nursing homes, assisted living, and home and community-based services. So if you click on nursing homes, there's the federal nursing home regulations, reports and resources, training materials, and information to share with consumers. And it's the same layout for each button. Okay. Amity, is there anything that you would like to add? And you can also launch the next poll. So I think that that's all I have. So considering what we just reviewed, how comfortable are you now with navigating the NORC website?
Thanks, Katie. Just one second. I was responding to a question. Okay, there you go. Please respond. All right, looks like about 75% have responded, so I'm going to close the poll and share the results.
Great, so it looks like about 51% are very comfortable. So that's an improvement from where we started, so that's excellent. Amity, are there any questions that have come in about the website?
Yes, a couple. So let me see if I can pull those back up because I responded and I'm not sure if you all saw the answers, so I want to review those. One of the questions was, how can I get resources from my program on the NORC website? Because you may remember that Katie shared Ombudsman program examples earlier in the webinar. And if you have something to share with us, please send it to ombudscenter@theconsumervoice.org. Yeah, thanks, Katie. And you can go to the contact page, and there it is right there. Just as a disclaimer, we do not include everything we receive on the website simply because, as you heard from Katie at the beginning, we've been working really hard, especially in response to the website users like you, that there's a lot of information on the website. So we're trying to make it less overwhelming. So we don't include everything we receive on the website. However, we do our best to share examples in other ways. If it's not on the website, we'll often share it via social media and in the quarterly Ombudsman Outlook. There's an entire section, an article from called News from the Network, and that's where we often highlight information and resources from state and local programs. So another question we received was asking if there was a way to sign up for emails when we make updates on under certain tabs or on certain web pages. And if not, would they just need to look through each tab and check for updates? So that was a good question. And unfortunately, no, there's not a way to sign up for email updates to notify you basically when we update a page or a tab. However, when we do have significant updates, we include those updates on our homepage under Resource Center Updates. And then we also share that information often, especially if it's a big resource or a webinar recording or something of that nature. We send that out via email to the entire network, on social media, and in the Ombudsman Outlook. So we try to provide information in a variety of ways to make sure that we've covered everyone. So another question that just came in, and Katie, if you could go to the map page, maybe we can show that. The question was, could I find the survey agency contact information on the NORC website? And yes, we do have the state information. So you can click on your state and scroll down. And that's where you'll find at the bottom of the page in a section called Other, that's where you find other state contact information, which includes contact information for the state survey agency. So again, the contact information we have on the map pages, we really rely on state ombudsmen to let us know if there's any updates. So if you find something that's incorrect, or you have maybe an email address or website address when we just have a phone number, you can always click that button to submit contact information, and we'll review it, confirm it, and then post it on the website. So I think that was the last question we've received so far. Feel free to submit your questions or send a chat message. And Katie, was there anything else you thought of while I was responding to those questions?
No, I don't think so. I think you covered it.
Okay. Well, I also want to, and I know Katie, I believe you mentioned it at the beginning in your intro, but I want to remind everybody and let you know that this has been quite an undertaking. It's been almost over a year, at least certainly a year, that we've been working on cleaning up the website, because the website really has acted for many, many years as a clearinghouse of information. So we had a lot of information from a variety of partners, including obviously state and local ombudsman programs, but other agencies and so on. And we had a lot of resources that were several years old. So even though the resources that are older often are still relevant, we understand that, you know, we need to keep as much current information as possible. So we worked really closely with both state and local ombudsmen in a work group, and they reviewed the website. We've included questions about the website in our annual evaluations to all of our network. And we've, you know, Katie has worked really, really hard, as well as some interns that we had, in removing outdated information, deleting pages, merging information, and trying to make it more user-friendly. So this continues as all websites, as it's a living, breathing website, and we still have room for improvement. So as you navigate through the website, if you come across anything and have any suggestions, do not hesitate to reach out and let us know how we can make it easier for you. Or as Katie mentioned, if we can just help you find something that you couldn't find as quickly as you'd like. So another question we received was, what is the State Ombudsman tab? That's a good question. So the State Ombudsman tab at the top of the page, we do have resources and information specifically for state ombudsmen related to how they manage the statewide program. So not all that information is for public consumption, and so that is behind a firewall that requires a password. So that's what it is. And Katie, if you could show again on your screen where to find resources for Resident Rights Month. That was another question that just came in.
Sure. So all residents' rights materials are under the issue page. So it's alphabetical, so you would click the R and then residents' rights. So there's a fact sheet on residents' rights, and then you would click Residents' Rights Month, and then it's organized by year.
Thank you.
And it is also on the Consumer Voice website. So you would click Consumer Voice, current events, and then Residents' Rights Month. They have the full package of materials.
Thanks, Katie. And you'll be receiving a lot of emails going forward about Resident Rights Month and getting ready for that. And please share what you're doing with us and with Consumer Voice as well, so we can highlight those activities. Thank you.
Thanks, Amity.
Sure.
Okay, so now, if there aren't any other questions with the website, and if there are, you can type them in the box. I would like to highlight our new training center. So you can access the training center by going to support and then training. And at the bottom, there's an image of the website, so you can click on that. So it takes you to a separate website, or you can type in the URL. It's consumervoice.mrooms.net. So the new training center is an education platform for everyone interested in achieving quality long-term care, and is available through your computer or your mobile device. So the training center allows you to dive into important topics through online courses. So courses are for consumers, representatives of long-term care, ombudsman programs, advocates, and family members. So at this point in time, the training center only houses continuing education materials that are also located on the NORC website, such as webinars, fact sheets, and the Prezi presentations. But interactive on-demand training for the revised NORS and the NORC curriculum, which is currently housed in Google, will eventually be available on this website. So once you're here and you scroll down, you can click the step-by-step instructions for enrolling and navigating a course. And this document has screenshots and arrows that show you exactly where to click. And then below that, if you click read more, there's also a 5-minute video that will show you how to enroll and navigate a course. So if you scroll to the top, so we are going to enroll in a course and submit a quiz. So once you create an account and are logged in, you can click My Courses in the top right-hand corner, excuse me. And on the next screen, you will see blocks of the courses that you are enrolled in. But if this is your first time using the training center, then it will say you are currently not enrolled in a course. Courses you are enrolled in will be shown here. And then you can click Browse All Courses. And on this page, you have the option to enroll in either Consumer Voice courses or NORC courses. Consumer Voice courses focus on understanding federal regulations, policies, and advocacy strategies, where NORC courses focus on ombudsman program practices and advocacy. So we're going to enroll in a NORC course, and it is continuing education. And there are currently 3 NORC courses available. So you will select the course that you want to enroll in, and then click Enroll Me. And then you are enrolled in the course. So you will read the introduction, and then you can download the materials and click Next Section as you make your way through these 4 sections. So once you're in the course, a green clock at the top will tell you how long each section will last. And once you read the materials and watch the video, you can download the slides by clicking the PDF. and reading more if there are more handouts. Once you are finished reviewing all the materials, you can click Review Quiz and attempt the quiz. So I've already taken this quiz, so you would take reattempt, and you're allowed to take it as many times as possible. And they are 4 short answer questions. So you'll fill out the question. So I'm going to click Next throughout these 4 questions, and then you would click Submit at the end. So finish attempt, submit all, and finish. And then this is a summary page. If I had answered the questions, they would show up here, all of my answers on one page. So you can either print this out and share it with whomever is grading your quiz, or you can save it as a PDF and email it as an attachment. So if you're using Google Chrome, you can do that by clicking the 3 dots in the right-hand corner, and then clicking Print. And then under Destination, usually it would have a printer, but you can click Save as PDF, and then click Save to your computer. So once you're finished and you have your results saved, you can navigate back to your courses by clicking My Courses. And if you would like to enroll in another course, you would do the same steps again and click Browse All Courses and enroll in another course. Amity, are there any questions regarding the training center?
No, not right now.
Okay, great. If you think of a question, feel free to type it in. I'm just going to go over a few upcoming NORC events and projects while you all think of questions if you have any. So on April 30th, the Part 3 Revised NORS training webinar will be held. So this is part of a 5-part webinar series on the Revised NORS. The purpose of this webinar series is to introduce the new training materials to help programs prepare for the transition of new codes, definitions, and activities on October 1st of this year. So the first webinar introduced the Revised NORS, and the following 4 webinars cover each part of the 4-part training. And to review past webinars from this series, you could visit the NORC website. It is all under Support NORC Conference Calls and Webinars, and then it's in 2019. They're all located here. The next project, as many of you know, the phase 3 of the nursing home regulations goes into effect this November, and trauma-informed care is included in that revision. So NORC will be holding a webinar on this topic. The date is June 10th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can find information about this webinar under Events, Current Events, and then Trauma-Informed Care. And registration information for that webinar will be available in May. And then finally, NORC created a new app for Ombudsman program representatives to access key information while they're working in the field. So we're currently testing this app, but it should be ready this year, which is exciting. If you have any questions, or if you aren't able to find a resource, you can email us. Our information is available under About and Contact Us. And Amity, if there aren't any questions or anything you would like to add, then go ahead.
Thanks, Katie. I was about to say there's no questions, and then I just got one. So the question was, what kind of information will be available on the app?
On the app, we have information that is also on the website, but it will be the key resources. So if you want to quickly look up another program's contact information, you'll have that access to that quickly. If you would like to see fact sheets by topic, there'll be just a couple key fact sheets on issues. And if you would like to quickly access federal laws and regulations, they'll be on there. So it's just a way to minimize the website so you can quickly see information.
Thanks, Katie. And for those of you listening right now, just wanted to say that we also leaned heavily on state ombudsman and local representatives in building this app. So we got some feedback on what they thought would be helpful. We proposed, our ideas, but they gave us some really helpful feedback and helped us shape this. So similar to the website, there are edits and stuff we can do going forward on the app, but for now we want to launch it hopefully soon. And the idea, like Katie said, is just to give you some really quick to access information that you need on some pretty hot topics when you're out in the field doing the important work that you do.
Thank you. If there aren't any other questions, that's all I have for today.
Great. Thanks so much, Katie. If you don't mind, before we close out, could you do two things for me? As far as the NORS training and webinars coming up, could you show them how they can access the NORS information again under, on the NORS page, and then the revised NORS webpage from there? Thank you. So just wanted to remind you all that if you're looking for the webinars, you can absolutely go to that conference call and webinar page Katie showed you, but we also include all the webinars and supporting materials on one page that also includes all of our new training materials as well as the ACL tables. So it's all on one page for you to access as quickly as possible. And then another question that we received, I responded to earlier. Someone joined the webinar late, so I think she missed the very quick overview about the difference between our website and the Consumer Voice website. So if you could show that just one more time before we close out, that would be great.
Sure. Let me go to the home screen. So the difference, you can tell the difference between the Consumer Voice and NORC website most easily by the color scheme. So the NORC website is green. And if you click on this button in the top left corner, you can access the Consumer Voice website, and their color scheme is blue. And you can go back to NORC by clicking the same button. The Consumer Voice website is for family members, consumers, and advocates, and it provides advocacy regarding long-term care issues in public policy, where the NORC website is specifically for ombudsman programs and provides information, resources, and technical assistance for ombudsman programs. And you can certainly use both websites. The NORC website is just specifically for ombudsman.
Thank you, Katie. And as you may have seen on the registration email that went out about this webinar, and Katie mentioned it a little bit earlier, she did a fantastic, very brief video recording where she provided an overview of our website, and it's scrolling and available on the homepage and also on the About NORC page. So I'd encourage you to share this with your colleagues or your volunteers, or both, if they weren't able to join today's webinar. It's a great introduction to our website, especially even if you're onboarding new staff and volunteers that don't even know that the Resource Center exists. I think this is a really nice way to introduce them to what we have available to them. And Katie, I don't see any other questions, so just before we close out, I just want to thank you again for all the really great work that you've done in updating our website. I hope you all find this useful in your work, and again, let us know areas of improvement as well as things that you like about it. So just let us know. We're here for you. So thank you for all the work that you do. Go ahead, Katie.
Thank you. That's all I had for today. So again, feel free to email us if you have questions, and thank you all for attending today.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.